I know y'all are like, where has her been? I still don't feel good. You know, I had fun on my birthday. You hear it in my voice. I had fun on my birthday. I did the show. Then my stomach started hurting. Then it really started hurting to where I was like, okay, is this appendicitis? It was like that bad on that same side. So I went to urgent care and they gave me antibiotics for something called diverticu something. I'm like, what the hell is that? And they're like, oh, you know, you get it when you don't eat a lot of food that's, you know, good for you. And well, anyway, they went through this whole medical thing. But basically it meant that, you know, the week and a week and a half that I was celebrating my birthday and all the shit I ate, the buffets in Tahoe and all, you know, stuff I don't usually eat. But I figured like, oh, you know, I'm supposed to be having fun. I just ate everything. I ate everything that I should not have been eating. And I've been paying for it this week. So guess what? I'm never going to do that again. One and done. I learned my lesson. So I have to have antibiotics. And this, you know, those make you feel just as sick as whatever it is that you have. So your friend over here just has not been doing well. I had fun on my birthday though. I had enough fun for 17 people. But I've been paying for it since. So we're going to have to ratchet that down a little bit for next year. We're not going to do that. So all the stuff I was supposed to do, I didn't do it because I was just laying in the bed feeling sorry for myself and looking, you know, just stupid. Just looking stupid. Yes, that's it, E. Allen. Thank you. I think I vaguely heard about it, but I mean, I never knew what it was, you know. And, but I tell you what, that shit hurts. And it's an area of your body, you can't massage it. You know, you can't rub it. No hot packs don't work, cold packs don't work. You just have to suffer. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. My last minute hairdo. Okay, I have to show you guys my shirt. My shirt commemorates the events of my life this week. It says, see, this is why I wanted to stay at home. All this right here. All this that I'm going through, that's why I stay at home. But I call myself going out. I'm gonna have fun. I went to Tahoe. I'm just out there. We're in the little club. I'm dancing and stuff. Like I'm young. I'm eating everything the world, just drinking, just having myself a jolly good time. And then came home. We've been in the bed ever since. So, thank you, Buttons. But let's get this show on the road here. I know y'all been waiting. It's like, where is this heifer? Let me turn this light on right here. Yeah, here we go. So I can see. Where is this heifer? Why is she not here? So we got 25 questions, and the next show is going to have to be on Tuesday because I'm be have some stuff to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. I don't know. I might be back on Sunday. We'll see. So let's get started with question number 1. Female, 22 to 27 from Antioch, California. Summary of issue. I had an argument with one of my best friends over her dog biting people at a party. What? Okay, people in these okay, let me see last weekend I had a party for my older brother at my close friend's house,
but we only used her backyard. I'll call her Sandy for this letter. She agreed to the party. They're mostly her friends. She asked for a guest list. I sent her the list. I invited about 3 extra people, and she had the nerve to get upset about it and scolded me in front of my brother and partner. It was embarrassing, but I swallowed my pride and apologized for it. When the party started, one of my friends visiting from Paris comes over. He's the first guest. I'll call him Ray. As Ray attempts to enter the home of Sandy, Sandy's dog bit him. Since she wasn't around when he tried to come in, I couldn't really blame her. She apologized and cleaned and bandaged the wound. After the bite, she says to let her know if anyone else wants to come inside, and she will guide them through the house to the bathroom. Stupid, I thought, but we all agreed. The agreement was to stay outside in the backyard. No one was to come inside, which was fully implemented, but no one did come in unless they had to use the toilet. Near the peak of the party, she lets the dog out into the backyard with Ray still there. I see the dog whiz past me, but I don't really think too much of it because I was preoccupied. I really regret that, but a few minutes later, another friend, let's call her Jane, attempted to walk into the backyard. Immediately, the dog runs at her and bites her crotch area. That dog would have to die. Jane is upset, but she doesn't cause a scene, says she don't want to take away from the birthday celebration. She is also treated by Sandy. Jane then scolds me again, saying she only let the dog out because she didn't know Sandy was coming. I apologize again. Sandy then puts the dog inside and the party continues. Near the end of the party, Sandy's dog attacks Ray again. Ray defended himself and isn't actually bitten this time, and Sandy finally puts the dog upstairs in her bedroom. The next day, I send a text to Jane asking if she's okay. She tells me she will go to the doctor and get it checked out. I feel like I'm a sneeze. I reported, excuse me, to Sandy, and she requested I pay half of the medical expenses of Jane. I tell her I'm not going to do that. It's not fair since the dog is her responsibility. She accused me of being a bad friend and treating her bad by telling her this. I feel as though she had treated me badly by projecting the blame on me for her untrained and unpunished pet. Let me know how you think I would respond to my friend or how you would have responded, Deb. I would have cussed that bitch out. What you think? So put that fucking dog in the house. We're out here. All these people are here. Dog can't be biting everybody just because she doesn't know him. Put her upstairs in your room. And that's what you should have said when you were making arrangements to have the party there in the first place. Make sure the dog is tied up or locked up in a room somewhere so that the guests aren't harassed by your dog. That's what you should have done. So both of y'all fucked up. But as far as liability, as far as the dog, actually biting someone, she let the dog out of the house. That is 100% on her. She were the dog inside, then the dog wouldn't have had access to Jane. So any court of law is going to side on your side because the liability was her. Once she made that decision to open that door and let the dog out to be amongst people that it didn't know, knowing that it had already bitten somebody because it didn't know who the person was and called itself defending its turf, which, I mean, that's normal. But it was normal people being prudent and caring about the safety of others tied their dogs up or they locked them in a room when they're having guests and the dogs don't know how to act. That's what they do. So she didn't choose to do that. So if I were Jane, I would send her a bill for my medical expenses. Because I was Ray, I would send her a bill for my medical expenses and the trauma that I had to endure. And if she try to come back on you, then you better lawyer up and flip that back on her, because she's someone who solely made that decision to let that dog out and not have it tied up and not leashed. So all liability is going to be on her. Oh, hey, Candy. Yeah, she did pick the wrong friend's house. But see, these are the kind of things, like I say, why this is a perfect example of why you don't jump into a relationship and don't jump into it. This is just a friendship. And she gets to see how this girl is when something happens in a situation. That's why I tell people all the time, you can't commit to something that you don't know. You with this person, you better put them through all kind of changes, all kind of paces. My daddy used to say, you just never know a MF until you piss him off, make him mad. So I made it a goal every time I would get with a new dude. Within a month of me dealing with him, I would say and do something that I knew was going to piss him off because I want to see how he acts. And the ones that get crazy want to start punching stuff, throwing stuff, and cussing at you and calling you names or trying to reach for you and stuff. Oh no, we're done here, sir. The ones who be like reasonable and calm and try to figure out what you're talking about and what's going to happen and how we're going to work past this, then those you would continue dating. But this is just an example of how you got to know how people think before you align yourself with them. Give them your body, give them your time, let them move in your house over your kids, marry them, and commingle funds with them. You have to know how they think. So in a situation like this, if a guy was married to her, sound like she's single, but just say a dude was married to her and the dog had done something really vile to somebody, requiring like hospitalization or loss of limb and reconstructive surgery and stuff like that, the husband being married to the fool wife with the fool dog would also be liable. So see, that then, whatever would happen to that, he would be on the hook too. That's why you have to be careful who you deal with. It's like, wow, it's unbelievable. So let's move on to question number 2 and see what other foolishness is going on around here. This young lady's 28 to 34 from Baltimore. Uh-oh. The male's 35 to 41 in Baltimore, Atlanta, a few other places. We automatically know there's going to be some dust going on. So she says that my boyfriend wants some money and bought a car without ever mentioning it to me. How to talk it out that big decisions should be discussed? Wait a minute, boyfriend. Okay. I'm feeling really mixed up and a bit hurt right now. I'm going to straighten you out real quick. Just give me a minute. My boyfriend recently hit a nice win on a sports bet. Instead of talking to me about it, he sold his old car and bought a newer one without even mentioning his win or what he was planning. I know it's his money and he can do what he likes, but in a relationship, shouldn't big decisions like this be discussed? It's not really about the car. It's that he didn't think to involve me in the conversation. We've been together a while and usually talk about important stuff. Also, what if we could have used that money in a better way? Or if notice how she's saying we would have needed something urgent to do. Not sure how to bring this up without seeming mad about the car. I just want him to get that it's more important about the communication and consideration since we are now in a relationship. Bitch, let me get your stupid ass straight. You 28 to 34, you ought to know better than this. Your dumb ass is not his wife. Okay? Get that straight. Being in a relationship, being a girlfriend, that don't mean shit. You don't have no rights over his property, no rights over his salary, no rights over his house, no rights over what he buys, where he goes, what he spends, his credit, nothing. Nothing. You don't have no say about anything that man does. He can do what the fuck he wants to do with his money, his property, his time, his house, his friends, whatever, his family. It don't concern you. And if I were him and you approached me with this, I would blow your hair back so hard you would just be bald and not want to ever talk to me again because you would be called all kind of names. Trying to tell me what to do with my money. I'm the one who put the money up for the bet, and I'm the one who won. You don't have shit to do with it. Okay, you don't have a voice in this decision. It's my car. I sold my car and I got me another car. Your name ain't on it. You don't have shit to say. Now, I hope you understand that. You just all out your envelope and all in somebody else's lane. Talking about what we. Your ass ain't French. Oh my God. Yeah, she said boyfriend. I'm just astonished. See, this is the issue too, because this is a common problem. I'm sorry. This is my sisters, Black women. This is a common problem that I have seen for the last 30-something years with Black women. You get a boyfriend and somehow in your mind, you massage it around to translate to you think you have husband privileges. And you're going to be telling somebody what to do and dictating and talking about, well, but I'm his girlfriend. No, that don't mean shit. Seems like every show I have to remind y'all that being a girlfriend doesn't mean anything. Take that shit to a bank and see what it gets you. Or to a court of law. It's going to get you shit. You're going to get laughed out the door. That's what's going to happen to you. So, if I were you, because I'm going to strongly suggest that you adjust your mind to the fact that you ain't shit to this man other than somebody for him to hump. That's what a girlfriend is. Okay, somebody to giggle with and hump. That's it. So you talking about all this other stuff? You ain't nobody's wife. You're not even a fiance, which is still just a fancy girlfriend with a ring. But, I guess it's better than just the plain girlfriend. But, yeah, you have nothing to say. You say something here, you risk getting your feeling super hurt and cuss all the way out. So you need to shut up and just accept the fact that it's his money and you don't have nothing to do with it. Question number 3. This is a female in the 22 to 20. Oh, that pissed me off though. People just having way too high expectations about what other people should do with their stuff. We could have used that money in a better way. That's why she got called what she got called, though. That part right there. Question number 3, female 22 to 27 from Denver. Summer issue. My partner left me at 8 months pregnant. What you think he was going to do? Let's see what dumb decisions you made. I'm a bit of a loss at the minute and need some help. Y'all who keep having these babies with these dumbass motherfuckers that you're not married to, I do not understand why you keep doing that. Stupid, 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 stupid. Me and my partner were together since December. Okay, just this December, and your already ass is already 8 months pregnant, and it's only August. That means y'all, are you here doing the math here? That means some man she barely knew, she got pregnant by and decided to keep the baby from a complete, relative stranger. Okay. Unexpectedly became pregnant and didn't know until 16 weeks. I was on the pill and had no symptoms. Baby girl is due October 1st. Kids were never in either of our plans, but here we are. My partner was shocked, as was I. He had some time to think it over after I gave him the option to leave back in April. He decided to stay. Partner has Asperger's. Okay, so now your baby gonna have it too. Though he's quite high functioning, he struggles with changes in routine. So I've been drip feeding the baby info as not to overwhelm him. I feel I've been very understanding of his not wanting to come to scans and appointments and not telling many people of his soon-to-be daughter. Fast forward to this week. I didn't hear from him for near on 5 days. I was going crazy with worry. He messaged me saying that we can't stay together. He has never wanted to be in the baby's life, and the thought of his love for me could pull us through. He thought his love for me would pull us through this, but he was wrong. His text also said that he will offer financial support on the positive result of a DNA test, which is baffling to me. But I've agreed, as there's no way this is not his child. He wants no contact at all with the baby. He said he has turned his phone off to have time to adjust. Deb, I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm feeling alone and confused. Well, what you want me to do about it? You stupid. He is such a lovely man. I can't believe he would do this. I asked him today to reconsider his thoughts and that I don't have the option to run away. And I'm scared too, but I think his phone is still off. I don't know what to do. I feel heartbroken for this little girl to grow up without a father, wondering why she wasn't good enough to have a dad. I know how debilitating that can be for a child. Well, then what the fuck did you decide to keep it for? Also to add, he didn't have a father figure growing up either. He's seen both his mom and auntie okay, I don't know. The mother and the auntie raised their children alone. How can you repeat the same cycle? Because that's what happens when you fuck around and get pregnant and you ain't married. You end up being a single mother. What are you? You don't know that 1 and 1 is 2? You haven't figured that out yet. To rub salt in the wound, his mother wrote the text he sent because he is quite dyslexic. And that text was almost legal sounding. Any advice is appreciated. P.S. We're both in our late 20s. Okay, so you got with somebody who's dyslexic and has Asperger's syndrome, and that's who you decide to have the father of your child. Okay. Well, yeah, she said she don't have a problem with the DNA test. That's fine. I mean, you know what? Yeah, I thought about this because, we used to get a lot of letters just when those DNA tests, like in the 90s, were really getting rolling good. I used to get a lot of letters from women, just insulted that the guy asked for a DNA test. And I thought about it, and I thought, you should give one for, even if he didn't ask for it, you should still give him one. Because of the fact that my grandmother used to always say, it's mama's baby, daddy's maybe, right? And if there's any doubt in your mind, and you could just put all his fears and concerns to rest so that that child, is accepted and loved and cared for and stuff, because he knows it's his kid, if that's important to him. Some dudes don't care. They, foster parents, adopted father, some guys have different mentalities about that. So, you got to know your dude. But if he's that kind of guy, then you just go and get the DNA test without him even having to ask for it. He come in there, see the baby, you say, here, there you go. It's your kid. Yeah, late 20s. No, they don't know this stuff, pink elevator. See, that's the mistake that you're making. Remember the phrase, have you ever heard the phrase, common sense ain't real common? That's what's at work here. So, when you guys say, oh, these are made up, these are, these people can't be real. Then you see these people walking up and down the street every day. You go to social services where the AFDC office, the Aid for Families with Dependent Children, foster care system and stuff. Those are the results of decisions like this. So please don't tell me that these people know better or that these are made up stories, because what you do when you do that kind of stuff is like you putting your head in the sand. It's like you refuse to accept reality. And that's not what we do on this channel. We deal with reality. We address it head on. So what we do is point out the mistakes in thinking and the emotional involvement that people use instead of logic and reason, so that people listening to this show do not go and make the same mistake. They can certainly make different ones, but they don't need to make those. There's like a multitude of mistakes that you can make. Let's be original here. Don't do the same dumb shit other people have done. Do some new dumb shit, okay? At least when I read your letter, I'll be like, oh, wow, this is new, right? But this is the same stuff over and over. Who can I say is at fault for this? Parents. Because parents don't talk to their girls about stuff. They don't tell them like the real deal about stuff. They feed them that pie in the sky. Oh, God will make a way. God don't put nothing on you that you can't handle. Well, when he see the baby, he'll change his mind. They tell their daughters, stupid stuff like that. Instead of saying, you're going to fuck up your life having some miscellaneous stray randos baby that you don't know nothing about, especially one that got all them damn afflictions. And your kid is a high risk of having that shit too. Now he's gonna need an IEP and have to go through all these changes and stuff and be struggling in life when you didn't have to do that to him. You didn't have to choose that man to be the father. You didn't have to do that. You made a stupid decision, and now the child's gonna have to deal with the repercussions of your stupid decision, plus the poverty that you're gonna be living in because you're young and dumb. So that means you don't have no money. It's just oh. I can do some new dumb shit. Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Yes, there is giggles. Just pick one. Just pick a new one, though. Don't keep doing the same ones in rerun fashion. Ooh, Lord have mercy. They both in their late 20s. When do people start getting some sense? I guess not till they're in their late 30s. Question number 4. This is a female in 28 to 30 age group from Memphis, Tennessee. So I have an issue. My husband wants to go to his friend's birthday party instead of coming to my sister's wedding with me. What would you do? I don't want to go to no damn wedding. I'm with him. I'm going to the party. Anyway, let's see what you and your feelings about. Me and my husband been married for 6 years. My husband's 30. I'm 28. For context, my husband has a very large group of friends. He has both male and female friends, but most of his friends are fairly decent people. A lot of them are married, but recently he met a young man who clearly became friends with, and they are part of, I think she met 5 young men. Okay, she put young man, so that's singular, but she put 5 in front of it. So I don't know if it's a typo or if he met 5 guys. Okay, it must be that, because the plural, because she said they are part of his friends group, and he also made 4 new female friends who are the 5 young guys' sisters, and I am not too fond of them at all. I don't know what they do for a living, and even my husband doesn't know what they do, but yet they own a $5 million house and they drive really expensive cars. What? I'm sure that's an exaggeration. And they travel the world every couple of years, and they also consume pharmaceuticals, mainly the herbalicious and white powder. Well, they got a lot going on in Memphis down there, don't they? Basically, they do not work, and yet they live a pretty extravagant lifestyle. My husband always tried to assure me that he doesn't take, the pharmaceuticals with them, but sometimes he goes out till 2 or 3 with them. Well, recently had an argument about my sister's wedding, which will take place next month, and he said one of those new friends will throw a big party at his mansion for his birthday, and his birthday is happened to be the same date my sister's getting married. Tell my husband I'd be extremely disappointed if he dishes me to go to the wedding alone, but he argued with me saying that I should be able to have a good time without him, and said that he's never been to a party like this before. All of his friends are going to be there, and they're going to have boozes, lots of pizzas and other junk foods, and they even hired a DJ. Even his new friends' family members they also find shady will be there. Another reason why I don't feel right about this future party is because his friends' sisters are going to be there, and my husband doesn't notice it, but one of the sisters who I refer to as Van always seems to be overly excited to see my husband whenever he shows up. She also runs to my husband first to hug him tight before saying a polite hello to me. My husband's oblivious, but I find it weird that she's always so happy to see him. He's not oblivious. I don't know why you believe that. You're telling yourself all kind of lies. My husband debates with himself whether he should go to his friend's party or my sister's wedding. He says that his friend's birthday party sounds like more of a fun time. What would you do in my situation? I would tell him that, that's true. It is probably more of a fun fun time, and I wish I could be free to go to it as well because it does sound fun. But let me explain something to you. You are a married man. You don't need to be running around with a bunch of single people all the time. And number two, this is a family event. You're part of this family and you need to be there. Now, this is how it's going to go. If you decide that you're going to go to this party and not to the wedding, the family wedding, when you leave to go to that party, I want you to take all your shit with you. Don't ever plan to come back here because we'll be in divorce court. Because this is showing me that we have a different moral stance. We have different values. And that is the core of a marriage. So, I mean, even though we've done great these past 6 years, we've reached an impasse now where you're going to veer to the left and I want to go to the right. I want to be, I want a traditional husband, a traditional marriage, a husband that puts me first, not a guy who's married and wants to act like he's single, hanging out, getting drunk, and partying with a bunch of single people. That's what you're doing. And that's not, we're not going to have that. So you make a choice. If that's the shit that you want to do, I'm not telling you can't do it, but you can't do it and still be married to me. That's where we're going to part ways. And I would just say it, put it to him just like that. We're not going, it's nothing to fight about because you're not going to, you can't make him do what you want him to do. It has to be his decision, but you have to put it in a way so that it put something on his mind so he knows what's at stake. Because it's like, this is not my idea of a marriage. You want to run around and have fun like you a frat boy or something. And I'm not having it. And I really don't like the way that woman's pawing all over you and you just sit there grinning like a fool. You let me have some man hugging up on me all tight like that and see how you like it. As a matter of fact, let me line that up so you can get that experience. I would be thinking like that. If I had to pay somebody that I found from Uber Eats and say, oh, come in the house and act like you my boyfriend, I give you $50. Like you interested in me, I give you $50. They would do it. Some of them little driver DoorDash people are cute. I'm like, oh, come on in here for 5 minutes. Make a big production with me. Let's do this. But yeah, that's what he needs. He needed those of his own medicine because he's not getting it. But you're going to have to be real tight and real tough with him and just say, okay, you make that choice. It's up to you. Because this is, like I said, weddings are a family event. As part of the family, he should be expected to get there. Be there, even though I have to agree with him that the party does sound a lot like more fun. But as a mature adult, you have to make choices that are the best for your relationship, that aren't always the best for you personally. And that's where where the kink is coming in right here. Oh yes. If you want some ideas of how to do some petty shit, just send me an email. I got you. I got you. Question number 5. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Tucson, Arizona. So I have issue. My boyfriend's ex slapped me in public. And she's still living? Y'all would have to hit up a Deb GoFundMe, get Deb out of jail fund. He didn't do anything. How should I deal with it? Oh no, you should have dropped him on the spot. Are you kidding me? I mean, not that you. Okay, let's see what happened first. I'm jumping ahead because I'm imagining this scenario in my mind. My boyfriend and I have been together for a year now, and we just moved in together and getting along really well. We had arguments over pharmaceuticals because I grew up in zero tolerance against it country and have no sympathy over users or dealers. Back to the accident. It was the accident. I wonder if she means incident. It was his 30th birthday 2 weeks ago, and we decided to fly to his hometown and get a beach house rental there for a week so he can catch up with his childhood friends and family. We went to this really cool bar that just opened, and we were sitting on the patio with amazing ocean view. I couldn't help but notice a girl kept looking our way, but she turned her head around once I looked over there. I definitely didn't know her. Lack of observation, me thinking she's attracted by the good vibe of our table, or she knows someone on our table. All of a sudden, I felt something weird. She walked straight towards me and slapped me in the face. Wow. My glasses fell off and I couldn't even see for a couple of minutes. My boyfriend pulled me up and comforted me. I could vaguely see that another guy pulled that girl away from our table. She still kept cursing while walking away, but I couldn't hear clearly because of music and people chatting. And you didn't call the police? That would have been an assault charge on that bitch. All of his friends came to ask if I was all right and said that she's crazy or a maniac. And of course, mentioned her name. All of a sudden, I realized that's his ex. I was all numb in that moment and didn't know what to do. I didn't even think about calling the police or chasing after her. I grew up in a normal family but loving parents, happily married over 30 years, and no violence like this has ever happened to me. The ex is her ex is an RN and has addiction issues, been stealing from the hospital for painkillers and buys from the streets, has cheated multiple times in their relationship, but has serious mental issues. Well, you don't know that. Just because that's what he told you, you don't know that's for a fact. They had been broke up for 5 years, and she got married to a veteran who beat her. Now that I think about it, she must be full of hatred or jealousy against me. Now things really bother me is my boyfriend's attitude. On the one hand, he comforted me and took care of me, but he also keeps telling me that there's nothing I can do to her. She has all those issues, and he wants me to have sympathy for her. Also, he warned me not to sabotage her career because she went to school for years to get that RN. My resentment has increased over time. I told him I'll forget, but never forget. Oh no, I would be singing. I would be dropping a dime to that hospital. If there's a rumor, you might want to investigate to see if there's any validity to it, because it's rather alarming. Because behind every fire, behind every bit of smoke, there's usually some kind of fire. I would let the hospital know. Send it anonymous. You know how you used to cut letters out of newspaper and make ransom letters? I guess people don't do that anymore, because I haven't seen the newspaper in print in a long time, but I'm sure they're around somewhere. Yeah. She said it's the same name. Like, haven't you ever heard your ex refer to his exes by name? She said it was the same name. I'm sure she knows, because it would have to be that. Who else? What would a complete stranger act like that? Just targeting her like that? No, it would have to be an ex. So, yeah, I don't know. Knowing me, I would have chased after her and jumped on that bitch's back and knocked her down to the ground and commenced to beating her ass. That's how I am. Whether I could see or not, I could see enough to know, to identify her. And it's good if you don't have your glasses on. There's nothing else for her to knock off. But now she would have to lose some teeth, hair, something. Something would be happening. I can't take people hitting me like that. Pinching me, twisting my arm. I told you the dude I had to twist. He was an ex. I was dating him at the time, and he grabbed me and twisted my arm. And when I got free, I kicked his ass down them stone stairs. That was it. And his mother screaming and said, my baby's hurt. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You shouldn't have hurt me. But yeah, I don't do too well when people try to attack me like that. That usually doesn't end too well for them, and I just don't like it. So yeah, because they was evidently still there. Well, she's the one that's the user. She gets them from the hospital where she works. She's an RN. But I don't know. This sounds like a hot mess. But hey, Shay. But it just sounds like something that I wouldn't want to be bothered with personally. Question number 6. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Kansas City, Missouri. Summary of issue. I need advice about my girlfriend living with me. Well, you should ask me that before you made that grave error in judgment. My girlfriend is 20 and I'm 22 and we live together. I just bought my first house a few months ago on my own and let my girlfriend move in with me. I let her move in on the condition that she pays for the electricity bill and contributes to food while I pay the internet, sewer, water, mortgage, and half the groceries, which comes out to about $1,500 a month. Her monthly for living here is about $170 on average. We get into arguments a lot because she wants to always decorate and take decorations and furniture down that I paid for. And when I tell her it's my house and she says I pay bills too, this happens a lot and we get distant because of it. Kick her ass out. Another problem we have is that on the chore side of things, I do a lot of heavy lifting. I cut the grass, take the trash out, do dishes every day, sweep the kitchen, vacuum the floors, mop and clean the countertops. She's only done those things a handful of times. Well, to make it the matter worse, this past week I've been working 14 hours a day and I haven't really been getting home till 11. And when I come home, I notice there's no dishes that have been washed, trash is piled up, and nothing's been cleaned. When I ask her, she says it's not my job. Long story short, I need advice on what to do or say. P.S. Sorry if grammar's writing is bad. That's the reason why I work construction, LOL. Okay, so he's a construction worker and bought his own house and he's only 22. Get it, dude. I wonder how much houses cost in Kansas City, Missouri. Maybe I need to move there. Because, you can't buy shit in the Bay Area for less than $500,000. It's just, and it'd be looking like a shack. It's just ridiculous. I'm going to say this. I want you to use some of your construction dollars and consult an attorney to find out what you need to do to evict her. You're going to send her back to her parents' house and tell her that this is not working, that you had hoped that she was more mature and responsible and more of a partner than she's shown to herself to be. And then you're going to kick her out. And then you're going to say, well, we could still date. You're going to pretend like you're going to still date her. And then once she's gone, say, no, then we're not going to date anymore, and get you a different girlfriend. Get you one that's mature and that sees this situation as one that you guys can use to parlay to advance yourselves. Because, she only paying $170 to live. I mean, man, let me get in a situation where I only have to pay $170. Think all the thousands I get to save every month. I could go buy myself a multi-unit income property with the money I save within about a year. Because housing in the Bay Area is just expensive as hell. I just paid $130-something PG&E bill. I was mad. I haven't even running anything. I guess a little fan or something. Well, she want to get the benefits of the $170. But she want to act like, again, it's a situation where somebody's coming in as a mere girlfriend trying to do a wife takeover, taking down decorations and all this old shit here. Bitch, you want to decorate some shit? Go get your own spot. That's what I would have told her. This is my house. It's going to look the way I want it to look. And anytime you don't like the way that it looks, get the fuck out. Now, that's it. There's no choice C here. It's A and B. C is you go, B is you leave and go decorate whatever you want to at your parents' house or wherever you decide to live, but it won't be here. I don't understand why, people don't have better boundaries. I mean, the first time she did that, took something down, I said, put my shit back and don't you ever touch it again or your ass is up out of here. See, that's how I would have talked to her. It's like this, everything up in this bitch's mind. Okay, I'll let you live here, but you don't touch shit of my stuff. And the second you do that again, I'm going to toss your ass up out of here. Because it's not like you were the tenant. You're just here just for the good time. Right now, I'm not having a good time, so you can go home. Question number 7. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Manila in the Philippines. Wow. Summary of issue. Is it weird that I call my boyfriend a princess? Kind of. We have been dating for a couple of months, and I started calling princess in my native tongue, Tagalog. He knows that I call him that, and he says he really likes it. But my parents say that it's very wrong to call him that because it's rude. It hurts a man's confidence and ignores his masculinity and says it's abnormal to do so. Those are their exact words, but I had to translate it. Normally, the word princess is directed towards girls who look pretty. When you call your boyfriend a princess, it implies that you see him as a girl, which means you are hurting his masculinity. Therefore, it means that you are looking down on him and disrespecting him, end quote. I understand the point my parents are making, but that was not what I was intending when I called my boyfriend that. I just thought it was a cute nickname. Plus, I didn't want to call him any other nicknames that I previously used to call my exes because that would be weird. I've never called him princess in front of any of his friends or my friends either, in case he would feel humiliated. Do you have any thoughts on this matter? Yes. Why don't you call him little prince or passenger prince? Or why do you have to feminize it? Even though he's saying right now, because you've only been dating a couple of months, that he likes it, chances are he doesn't really. He just doesn't want to make it seem, and you too dumb to catch it. You don't go around calling straight heterosexual men anything that sounds effeminate. You don't do that. It's a lack of, your parents are right, it's not respectful. Okay? Don't do that. I'm sure you could come, if you put your mind to it, you could come up with a dozen other little cutesy names that you could call him besides princess. Okay, that's just not cool. Yeah, I think it's very weird. She's like making him, she's feminizing her boyfriend. I don't even understand the logic behind why you would even want to do some shit like that, let alone try to defend it. So notice in the chat, everyone's saying that you're a weirdo. So yeah, I think the vote is unanimous that you're strange. Question number 8. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Sudbury, Suffolk in the UK. Suffolk? Okay, whatever. Sorry, issue. Was this a fair thing to send to her? I've been seeing this girl for about 2 months. We have a great time in person and I really like her. However, scheduling dates is like pulling teeth. I feel like I'm putting in twice as much effort as she is. I initiate and plan the dates, which is fine, but every time it's so non-committal. We were supposed to meet last Friday, but she asked to reschedule to Tuesday. Then come Tuesday, I book us a dinner reservation and she asked for rain check. She tried to keep the conversation going, but I said, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you and I've been having a great time in person. Communicating and scheduling hasn't been the easiest, making it hard to get a read on everything. I'm not sure what your thoughts are, but if you'd like to meet up again, let me know. I've been getting frustrated with the wishy-washy and left the ball in her court. Was this a good way to go about it? Absolutely. You should have done that a long time ago. You should have done that after she canceled the first time. Or when you tried to catch up with her the first time and she was like dipping and dodging and not being responsive. That's a cue that she's not really feeling you. Okay. So I mean, she might have been like, he's okay, but she wasn't really feeling you. That's what I'm saying. So, if a woman is really like feeling you, she wants to be, she gonna change some shit on her schedule to make sure she's available when you ask her out. Women have been known to drop their very, best friends and family to go out with a dude that they really like. I don't advocate that, but I'm just saying it does happen. And you've been, you said trying to get with her is like a pulling teeth. It shouldn't be like that. If it's that stressful, that much trouble, then that means she's just not really, as that phrase goes, not really into you. So just let it go. You did the right thing. You just should have done it sooner. Okay. So next time in the future, when you see you trying to reach out a woman, you're expressing your interest, you're trying to line up time to spend with her, and she starts, she's like a moving target, you can't hit it, just let it go. Do what you did at the end, do that sooner. Question number 9. This is a young man in the 18 to 21 age group from St. Louis, Missouri. Summary of issue. How do I tell them that I don't want to continue talking? I'm a 20-year-old guy who's been talking to this girl who's 21 for about 6 weeks via text. We met on an app. We had one date on the week before, and we have a follow-up scheduled for tomorrow that we made in-person plans for. I am just getting a very strong feeling that I'm no longer attracted to her, and I want to cancel. The problem is, earlier today I said I'm still good to go, yet now I'm just not feeling it, and it's making me anxious and nervous as fuck because I know I'm the asshole here. What should I text back to say I don't want to continue talking, or should I call her? She hasn't done anything wrong, but I just don't feel right, that's all. Okay, so you went in one day. Earlier today you say I was good to go, yet now I'm not feeling it. What are you, menopausal? You're on your period. What's going on with you? What is this mood swing shit? Are you bipolar? Little motherfucker, you gonna take your ass on this date. That's what you gonna do. You don't get people all lined up like that and then you gonna flip out and flake out like that. That is not manly behavior. Even if you, after the second date, you decide that you don't want to continue talking to her, that's when you make that determination. You don't say to somebody at 10 o'clock, yeah, and then at 3 o'clock, no. You sound like a little bitch. Who does that? You're not going to do that, okay? You're going to carry through with the commitment that you made to go on this date like a gentleman. And then if you determine after that second date that she's just not your cup of tea, you're going to tell her that. Well, I gave it 2 shots and I'm just not feeling it. That's when you do that. And you can say, well, I gave it two chances. It sounds better and it comes across as more sincere. And it means that you really did, give her the opportunity, give you two the opportunity, which makes it sound more fair. So as you go through life, you're only 22 to 27 age group, right? Oh, no, you're 18 to 21. Yeah, you're just a kid. You're 20 years old. This is the kind of thing that you have to start developing in yourself now. Integrity. Okay, that means that if you tell someone you're going to do something, you follow through and you do it. Okay, this is very, very important. These are the only thing that you have that represents you as a man to other people is the fact that your word is what my grandfather used to call your bond. So if you tell somebody, I'm going to be there, you're there. I'm going to do it, you do it. I'll take care of it, you take care of it. You don't go wishy-washy, flipping, flopping, and flaking around. See, because that's not a man to me. I don't know what that is, but bullshit. But, this is you at that important age now where you're going to start establishing who you are going to be as an adult in this, how you're going to roll in this world. These are the kind of little decisions and forks in the road that will take you to greatness or take you to Dustville. So think carefully before you make that call. Yeah, I tell him, I'm not feeling it. But, but see, if he had said days ago, I might have cut him some slack earlier today. So that right there, we know. And she hasn't done anything wrong. The vibes just don't feel. That's why I say he's on his period or he's menopause, something going on, some hormone, andropause, whatever's going on with him. That's some like flip-floppy bipolar shit to be doing like mood swings like that. Question number 10. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from St. Paul, Minnesota. Summary of issue. My boyfriend falsely staged a drug intervention for me. I am not addicted to drugs. What should I do? Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, okay. What kind of new narcissist bullshit is this? Okay, I've never heard. This is interesting. Okay. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years. Our relationship has had absolutely no issues before this incident. He has been the perfect and most loving partner. However, last week I came home from work to an intervention with all my close family and friends, orchestrated by my boyfriend, who has apparently convinced them that I'm an addict. For context, I have no history of usage, no behavioral signs that would suggest such an addiction, and there's no reason for him to believe otherwise. I think he knows I'm not on those substances, but he has said things to my mom or sister that he knows to be untrue. That things have gone missing around the house, they haven't. That I've used his credit card to withdraw money, I don't even have his card details. And that I've been acting erratically, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, so wait a minute. Let's rewind. Pause this break here. So he's been doing these kinds of things, and you were aware of them previous to this magical intervention, and yet you continue to date this man. See what I mean about women being stupid? He was setting you up then. Okay, how you gonna be with a man who lies on you to your own family like that? And you gonna stay with him? What are you thinking? What's wrong with you? He was supposed to be fired that moment. Okay, do these girls have like no boundaries at all? Is it me? Because I would have for sure, like he would have got cussed out and dumped like on the spot. I'd be telling my mother some bullshit like that. You lying on me like that? You out your rabbit ass mind. I'm just like, this dude is tripping. Okay, so let's see what else happened. When I confronted him about all this, all he said was, it's not about the substances. It's about making sure you're safe. Yeah, see, narcissistic gaslighting. My partner is a psychologist and has convinced my entire family that I'm displaying all the hallmark signs of addiction. They all insist I'm in denial and that I need help. No one is willing to entertain my denials at all. My mother says she isn't willing to have me over to her house, and my sister won't allow me to see my nieces until I go to rehab. So he basically, what he's done now is isolated you from all your family. So then your relationship has turned into one of abuse. So that's what they do. They set things up to isolate you so that the only person that you have for complete control over you is you're limited to them. They do this by on purpose. And your family is stupid because what they should have asked for is, well, what is this she's supposed to be on, and when did she start using it, and when is she buying it, who's she getting it from, and how she's still going to work every day if she's such a. I mean, they're not asking no question. They just believe in it just on the strength that he said it. You're supposed to ask questions and then say, well, come on, I'm gonna get daughter, come with me, and we're gonna go to the hospital and have a drug test. And I wouldn't have told him. I would have just called you up, come and picked you up from work and taken you to get one. So we could have shut that shit all the way down and made him expose him as the liar that he is. You could still do that yourself. Go to a hospital and get a drug test. They test my urine for every drug that you have. Now, the trick could be, since you seem to live with him or something, he could have been putting something in your food which would make your test positive. So be prepared for that. You could be having some substances that you're not even aware of that you're ingesting in beverages or foods. So the best thing for you to do, though, is to go and take your happy little ass to get a drug test, tell them what's going on, and tell them you want everything. You want your blood, urine tested immediately for every substance that they have a test for. You'll probably have to pay for it out of pocket, but, sound like you're not broke. So you can do that. And then you're going to take that piece of paper and you're going to scan it into a document, and you're going to email it to everyone and say, I'm not really sure what's going on with him and why he's finding it so necessary to try to discredit me, but I'm seeing an attorney about this slander and libel that he's painting me as this type of person is going to damage my reputation. It could impact my work. And so I'm going to take him to court about it and we're going to break up. That's how you shut that down all the way down. No, I'm just thinking this, this is a dangerous situation for her. Once he starts isolating her, then nobody's gonna be tripping about what happens to her. And if he says that you had an overdose and that's how you died, then, and he injected you with something or gives you something and you die from a drug overdose, well, nobody would be surprised because it would look like, well, we already knew she was using. And so that's why you have to go get this blood test now. Are you understanding what I'm saying? This is your coverage. And then you see an attorney with the drug test in hand and tell them what's going on so that you have some stuff lined up. The police are aware of what's going on, how you getting set up. This is not cool at all. And then the police can also investigate if he's taking out any life insurance policies on you. Because they have access to that kind of stuff. They can do that. And then, it'll be exposed what his game plan is. But you better take action and stop being so stupid. I'm glad you wrote because you obviously don't know how to handle this. And you up there worried about, being embarrassed and shit like that. Your life is at risk. That's what's really going on here. You want to know what's prompting him to do it? Who gives a fuck what's prompting him to do it? Nobody cares what's prompting him to do it. What we worrying about is you saving your life. So get your ass in gear, chick. You need to get up and go as soon as you hear this response, you can go to the hospital now and tell them to draw some blood and get your pee in a cup and start testing it. Tell them this story. Call the police and tell them the story. And then tell them that you need a drug test to establish the fact that you don't have these substances. So that if something happens to you later and it looks like you took an overdose, that they should suspect him of murder. That's what you want to do. And that's what you want to put in your police report. But you got to get the blood test to back it up. So do it all at tonight. Hey, Lauren. This is scary. This is very scary. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Corpus Christi, Texas. Summer issue. Deb, I took your quote, match energy advice to heart, and I want to tell you what happened. Oh, I started to wear my match energy shirt today, but I wore this one. I was pursuing a guy who seemed perfect. He was cool, polite, and ambitious. Initially, we were equally invested, but then he started to fade away. We met for dinner, and he gave me the I like you, but just got out of a relationship speech. I've been there before, so I left. He was disappointed, but I wasn't. I was determined to match energy, whereas in the past, I would have done backflips trying to get him to change his mind and love me. Good for you. 2 weeks later, an acquaintance asked me out. On our first date, he was already planning the next one. That's how it's supposed to go. He texts me often, he checks on me, and he does thoughtful things for me. Today, he left chocolates and an encouraging note on my porch because he knew I was stressed with school. He was clearly into me. The takeaway, just like you always tell us, there's someone who will go out of their way to be with you. Don't waste time on someone who's unsure or wants to, quote, go with the flow or gives mixed signals running hot and cold. Just match his energy and you won't feel the need to waste time on someone who isn't into you. Seems so simple, but it's so powerful when put into practice. Absolutely. Hallelujah. As Tyler Perry says, hallelujah. I'm glad that you listened. That's one of the problems that I have with this thing, with the young ladies making mistakes that they do. They don't listen. It's like they say, oh, I've been following your channel for 7 years. I've been here since you were on Blog Talk. I used to be on your Ask Happy website in the 90s. But then they write and they tell you what dumb stuff they've done. And it's like, okay, you've been around all this time. Did you listen? I mean, you heard the words, but did you really understand what you were hearing here and start putting it into practice? Everything I say is designed to help you protect yourself so you don't get in these fucked up situations. So you don't, keep being with dusty men that don't treat you well, that disrespect you, that are, out to do little games to harm you or the people that are close to you. You get rid of those kind of folks. Build up your boundary, build up your self-esteem. You say no. This kind of stuff, these are the kind of things we've been trying to teach on this channel for the last 30 years. And so on this platform, rather, because it always has been on YouTube. But I'm so happy. I want to print this out and frame it. This is like, yeah, good I'm just so happy for you. Good for you. I hope that your letter encourages someone else to do the same. That would be nice. Question number 12. This is a female in the 32 to 37 age group from El Paso, Texas. So I have an issue. I need your thoughts on why a player would do this. Oh God. Is there ever a reason why players do anything? Players gonna play. So I was on the phone with a close friend of mine last night, and she was telling me how she had been out on 2 dates with a guy she had a feeling was a player. On their second date, he was very touchy-feely with her and kept making out with her, but that was all. She said other than that, he was a gentleman and they had good conversation. Okay, so how is he trying to make out with you and a gentleman at the same time? I'm not really understanding. He did ask if she wanted to go home with him, but she declined, and he was still a gentleman about it. And then after the second date, he increased the amount of texts he was sending her and kept saying how he was looking forward to seeing her again. Well, seems like that was all he was doing because he kept texting her for a week and a half after that, but never actually made a date. So it was clear he was just trying to keep her on the hook while he dated around. She also said he had a habit of not responding to texts after 7 p.m. until the next morning, but yet would text throughout the day. Her last conversation with him was a week and a half ago, and she hasn't heard from him since. So we both assumed he probably met someone else who was probably more aligned with wanting something casual. No, what he did was align himself back with his wife. That's what he did. At 7 o'clock, his wife is home. It's family time, dinner time, kids, whatever's going on at his house. That's why you don't hear from him. It's not like the other person was already there. You was the one who was the additive to the whole equation. So this morning, okay, wait, where I left out? Hold on a second. We both assumed he probably met someone else who's probably more aligned with one. Okay. This morning, my friend texted me and said that she was on the app and saw that he just updated his profile last night, which means he didn't necessarily find someone else. We both thought it was odd that he didn't at least try to take me out one more time and see if I'd sleep with him instead of trying to find someone new. So just curious, because I think if you're attracted to someone, you would just try to make another attempt to sleep with her, especially if you kept texting her after the second date instead of going back on the app to find someone else, right? No. What you're trying to do, my dear, is waste your time trying to make somebody. Okay, you see the world through a certain lens. Okay, you see the world the way that you see it, and that's fine. Nobody's telling you can't do that. But when you start trying to apply your lens to other people, that's where you start going left. Everybody is not you, and they're not going to think like you. They're not going to see things like you. They're not going to behave like you. They're not going to think like you. So you thinking that, he should have, pursued you more and tried to press the, versus get somebody new. He doesn't have to do that, because what you would be looking for is him to put work in and invest time in you. Why do that when he could go do that with somebody else and get instant results? Because he could do all that with you and still not get no nook. See? So he's going with where he's like, she too hard and she wants too much in my time and energy. I'd have to spend too much money on her. Let me continue, casting my net. So that's what he did. Yeah, they don't get it, Shay. They just be like thinking, I don't know what they be thinking. But these dudes, they're gonna go see. Okay, let me say this again. I probably haven't said this since in 2024. Men always do what's easiest. Now, ladies, keep that in your head. I've never met a man yet who does not take the path of least resistance. Whatever's gonna get them what they want, the easiest, with the least amount of work for them, that's the path they're gonna take. That's why they like the girls who say no and make them work. They don't deal with them. They go with the girl who say, okay, and invite them over without spending any money, not even buying a hot dog or a bottle of beer, and let them hit it. That's the path of least resistance. I don't understand why women don't understand that. They think, I'm going to make him wait. No, you going to make him wait, but that don't mean he's not tapping it somewhere else with somebody else who's easy. They want what he wants, or they just desperate or whatever, but whatever's the end result, they going to give him what he wants. And then he can still deal with you while you play them Steve Harvey 90-day waiting games. You can do that. But you really need to look at the world the way that men look at it. If you're trying to deal with men, if you gay, that's another story. But if you're trying to call yourself being heterosexual, you think, because I wrote an article about this one time about fishing, because I used to fish a lot. And as a kid, I noticed, I made this analogy. Like when you go to the pond, right? You go to the river, you go to out in the ocean, in the bay, over here, San Francisco Bay. There's different kind of fish, there's different kind of water. The fish are attracted to different kinds of bait. So you don't go and try to catch a sturgeon with an earthworm. Those are for crappies and bluegills and little fish like that, trouts. Okay, they like that kind of stuff. You want a sturgeon, you got to give the sturgeon what the sturgeon wants, right? You want a sea bass, you got to give the sea bass what the sea bass wants. You want a crappie or a bluegill, you get them what they want. Little mealworms and earthworms. They love that shit. So, and it's the same thing with men. You know, basically, when you're dealing with a man, you got to give the man what he wants because every man is different, like a fish. And you fishing for a fish, you fishing for a man. It's the same principle. What is he gonna bite on? What is he gonna, get on the hook for? That's what you have to think. You have to think like a man. You think like the fish. What does a fish want? What does a man want? And if you want to give it to him, then that's what if you want to get him on the hook, that's what you give him. You can't give him what you want and thinking that he's gonna get on the hook like that. And the same thing in reverse for dudes. You're trying to get a chicken, you want to give her what you want to give her. She don't have, and then you get mad that she don't bite. That's not how it works. She's your fish. You want that fish, get a fish what it wants to get on your hook. Okay? And it's so simple. I don't understand why people don't understand that. It's just so simple. I think that article's on survivingdating.com. It's still something about why dating is like fishing. I think that's what the title of it is. Yeah, I wrote that. Ooh, I don't even know how many, probably 2 decades ago. One of the first articles I wrote. Question number 13. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group in Seattle, Washington. Summary of issue. I just found out that my entire friend group was rooting for my downfall when it came to my current girlfriend. Wow. I'm really hurt by all of them. What should I do now? Hold on a second. I need a swig of my iced tea with lemon. I have a group of friends I met in university. They are my only real friend group, as I've always been on the quiet side. Back in my final year of uni, all of them were kind of pushing me to go ask out this one girl in the group, telling me things like she was interested in, and I, quote, had a good shot, end quote, with her. They were all pushing it so hard, and I was so tired of being such a shy loser with no confidence that I actually ended up just going through with it and telling myself whatever happens, happens. I went on a couple of dates with her, and we ended up dating, and now we've been doing so for 2 years. I don't want to bother getting into the specifics, but long story short, I got my hands on all the old chat logs related to me and this girl, messages and group chats I wasn't a part of, PMs, etc. I read that they all thought I wouldn't be able to do it. I saw the messages of them calling me a nerd and a loser, saying things like she doesn't actually like him, but he needs to try. And I feel bad. We should tell him the truth. And did you read what he texted to her? Lol. The most heartbreaking part was reading the messages from my girlfriend. She was part of the group chats and making fun of me, saying how I never stood a chance, how she actually wasn't actually into me, how she was sending all of our chats to our, quote, friends. I read, wow. I read how each of the dates we went on were out of pity and saying how I was so cringe and the way I flirt was an ick. I just can't believe it, honestly. I cried reading it. I thought these people were my friends. Well, now you know. I know I have to move on from this friend group, but how? Like I said, these guys are the only real friends I have. And you don't have them. So that means you have no friends. So not having them, you'll just be back where you were anyway. There will be no change effectively in your life. That's what the part you're not getting. You're thinking that they're your friends and you're going to lose something if you leave. They're never your friends. Okay. You know that. So not having them in your life is not going to change the fact that you don't have any friends. You could get some though. I have no idea where or how to go about starting fresh. I haven't even broken up with my girlfriend yet. I know I have to, but for some reason I can't bring myself to just tell her right now. Can you offer any advice? I just feel absolutely lost. I don't have any family. I just have an aunt that raised me, but we aren't even that close. The situation reminds me a lot of that movie with Jim Carrey, The Truman Show. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that movie creeped me out. I feel like the signs were all there, but now that I know the truth, I have no idea what to do next. Any ideas? Thanks. Let me see. Where are you? Seattle. Well, I don't know what you got as far as work goes, but if you work for a company where they have branch offices, put in for a transfer. And then when it comes in, pack your shit and leave Seattle. Go somewhere else, start fresh. The thing about it, being a young man, this is terrible. I don't know. My heart hurts for you because, man, this is just like group bullying, like that took place over a year. They ain't shit to tell you. I mean, you know what I mean? You can't do any worse with anybody else. But if you transfer, see, you'll be the new person. And when you come in, they'll have like a party. Everybody, they'll get together and say, oh, let's welcome the new guy. Let's go out for beers. Let's do this and that. And you'll have the opportunity to establish, at least an acquaintanceship or two with some of your coworkers. You might meet, I don't know, people at the gym. There's hobbies and interests that you have. You can enroll in some clubs and stuff in their new location. What you're going to have to do, though, is get out of your little shell of quiet and solitude and make an effort to engage with people. Don't hide from folks. If they looking at you, say, hey, I'm new in town. Can you recommend a restaurant I could try or someplace to hear some good music or something like that? Interact with people a little bit more. It's not hard. I was at the farmer's market today. Just give me an example, right? I'm at the farmer's market today. And, the peaches and stuff. Oh, I got so much stuff. And I was like, why did I buy all this shit? Because the half was going to rot before I cook it. But whatever, I still have it. And so I'm at the farmer's market, and there's this lady. I was buying some falafel. And this lady was there. She's like, oh, I don't know what to get. I don't know what to get. And I said, well, do you want a recommendation? Because I come here all the time. I said, I've tried this, I've had that, I have that, and everything's good. So the people that own the booth, they were so happy I was selling up their stuff. They gave me extra falafels. So I suggested some stuff to the lady, and then there was this man waiting there with his baby in a stroller. She looked to be about a year and a half or two, maybe at the most. And he's rocking her back and forth and talking to her through the stroller. I said, enjoy that age, because then pretty soon they get like my daughter and they turn 30. And then it's just like all downhill from there. And he started laughing. So we started talking about, parenting and, raising kids and stuff like that. So I'm just giving you that as an example of how easy it is to interact with people. Now, I wasn't interested in dating either one of those. This was just social shit chat. But it's the principle that I'm talking about. You go outside of yourself to find common ground with people. What do you have in common? The first lady's a Black woman like me. I think she was Caribbean or African. She had some kind of little accent going on. But, she was nice, and we chit-chatted and giggled and stuff. And then, with the other guy, yeah, but it is a challenge to find real friends. But, you don't really have to have a whole bunch of them, just one or two. I mean, that friend group shit, as you guys know, I still don't get that. Why people would be bothered with that in their 20s and 30s. I mean, that's for high school and college. You have a friend group. Once you graduate and get into real world, what you need a damn friend group for? What the hell is that? So you need one or two friends to go hang with. You might have somebody that you do one hobby with and somebody that you do one other hobby with, and then like a best friend that knows your whole secret and everything. But, you don't need a whole bunch of people as an adult in your life, and they're all up in your business anyway. But what you do want to do, you have to put yourself out there to meet people. You'll get invited to parties, and then you'll meet other people. They'll want to go out to dinner with you and, take you to different events with them and their other buddies and stuff. And you'll get to meet people. The woman who's my best friend right now is someone I met through another woman that I don't even really talk to anymore, years and years ago. So it's like, you have to try a different approach. But that's what I suggest. See if you work for a company where there's an opportunity to transfer to a branch office, do that and then deuce out. Okay. And then block all those friends, those quote friends that you have, because they ain't your friends anyway. Question number 14. This is a male in the 42 to 49 age group from Vancouver, Canada. Summary issue. My daughter's 9 months pregnant. She just found out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her. She is giving him another chance, and I don't know the best approach. As her dad, I am so mad at him. What can I do to navigate this and not inadvertently drive my daughter away? You can keep your fucking nose out of it. You know what? I'm not going to read the rest of your letter because, okay, if she got pregnant and she took him back and all this old stuff here, and you're disappointed and all this stuff, but you don't need to be disappointed because this is how this goes. When you have children, okay, they're at a certain age and they start wanting to have a nook life. Okay, that's grown folk shit. Once people start fucking, they're, in my mind, they adults. So when you express to your child, well, if you're going to do this stuff right here, then everything that comes with that is your responsibility. If you get a disease, if you get a baby, if you find out that he's married and the wife comes and beats your ass, I mean, all of that is part of the repercussions of you having a nook life and trying to call yourself grown. So you can't go from being daddy's little baby and being protected like daddy to being a grown woman bed hopping. Those two things don't go together. You pick one. So either you're going to be at home and under protection of your parents and you're going to sit there and have family night and make popcorn and all this shit, or you're going to be out in the world fucking around doing all this other stuff. So when you're doing all this other stuff, see, whatever happens, that's on you. You deal with it. So Pop, I want to explain this to you. It's not your responsibility to say shit. You don't need to be mad at nobody. That's your daughter's red wagon in her life and her stupid choices. She gonna be the one with that damn baby. Just make sure you put all your boundaries in place. Don't expect me to babysit, and I'm not giving you no money, and I'm not taking care of it. You two little motherfuckers made that baby, then you figure out a way to take care of it and leave me out of it. That's what you're supposed to say. You say nothing to your daughter about her stupid relationship choices. She knows it's stupid. She don't need to rub her nose in it. But neither is it your business to tell that boy anything. And you know what? The only other thing you need to remind your daughter of, you should have known this was going to happen because your ass ain't married. You was a baby mama going into the shit, and you're going to be a baby mama going out. And that's just the way that it is. So she's going to have to figure out how to be a single mother. I'm not saying she got to be mad at anybody or anything like that, but you need to just give her that reality check because she's having some kind of special expectation that she shouldn't be having. You need to get a job or two and take care of the baby that she got. That's it. Because you wrote too much. You wrote all kind of stuff. You just knee deep up in their relationship and in her business. That's why I'm not reading all this shit. Look at this. Look at all this you wrote. What the hell? 4 pages of nonsense. No, I'm not reading all that. Oh, yeah, she's 9 months. She's about to give birth any second. It's too late for all that. The best she could do is maybe give it up for adoption. But again, that's not his choice. Well, you know, what he does have a choice in is to tell her, you know, just understand, I don't look for me to do shit. I made sure my daughter understood it. It's not, was I in that bed? If I wasn't the one fucking, then it ain't my responsibility. And so there you go. You made a baby. Y'all made a baby. Make sure you do what you need to do. If you can't do what you need to do, give it up for adoption. A lot of people want a baby. Can't have one. They want one. Give it to them. And I'd be like, boop, I'm going back to my football game now. Question number 15. Female, 22 to 27 from Ottawa, Canada. Summative issue. How do I respond to my boyfriend the next time he stares and points at girls in public? What? What? Deb, I'm needing some advice. My boyfriend has a very obvious wandering eye, and you still dating him, though. See what I mean? You know this is a fatal flaw. It hurts you. You don't like it. You want it to be something different. You don't want a boyfriend who does this kind of stuff, but yet you stay with him. And why are you writing to complain to me about it? See, most of the time, you know, once I get past the summary, I don't really need the letter because they tell you all the details in the summary. Okay, so let's just go just for shits and giggles. Let's read. She says, okay, he has a wandering eye. Yesterday we were at a restaurant and this girl walked past us to go get a drink. And I observed his reaction because I knew she was his type. And he literally turned his whole head and followed her around the room in front of me and looked back at me and said, did you see that? Her dress is so short, you can see her ass. Oh, boy. Okay. I didn't know what to say in that moment, so I just laughed it off and tried to change the conversation. But he kept looking, and he wasn't even present in the moment with me, and she walked past. I watched him look at her butt. Then an hour later, when we wasn't even in the restaurant anymore, he says to me out of the blue, you're so beautiful. You was the most beautiful girl in the restaurant, unlike that other girl dressed slutty. That's why I like you. You're classy. Which is weird because we left the restaurant ages ago, and I really don't know why he felt the need to say that. I don't really care if he glances or takes a sneak peek. That's natural. But it's not quick. He stalks them with his eyes. It's embarrassing for me, and I feel bad for the girls. There was another time we were on a train together, and across from us was a girl. She unzipped the top of her jacket, and he pointed out to me her cleavage, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. This guy is just ugh. And I said, and? What's the big deal? It's as if you just hit puberty. And he replied with, well, they're just there, aren't they? I didn't even have a response for that. I just turned to look out the window, and I could see his reflection. He was literally staring at them the whole way there. He is always pointing out girls' breasts, which is gross. I've never pointed out a guy or even stared at another guy in front of me because I would never want to upset him. That's why he keeps doing it. Okay, because match energy, and you need to take that lesson and start putting it into action. I'll tell you how shortly. I really love my boyfriend, but this is creeping me out. And I feel disrespected. I'm not sure how to go about it or what to say the next time it happens. I don't want to come off as jealous or anything. I just hate being disrespected. I've never had this issue with past relationships. I don't want things to come to an end because of this issue. Everything else about him is wonderful. But it's just this one issue that's pushing me his way. Okay, but see, this one issue is about respect. It's like marked and total and complete and repetitive disrespect. And you just sit there and take it. So, the handwriting be on the wall. I mean, this relationship would already be like on the skids, but I can't just leave like that. I have to leave with, like making a statement. So what next time we went out? Okay, I don't have my sunglasses in here. I had them on the top of my head. I think I took them off. But I, let me put these on and just pretend that these are my sunglasses. What are these? Oh, these are my computer glasses. Okay, so say these are my sunglasses. These are dark. Just pretend these are dark. And so some fine guy goes walking by. This is going to be me. Making sure I get a good look. I might take them all the way off and sit them down because I can get better look because, the frames might maybe some glare or something. It blocking my view. And I'll be like, damn. Ooh. Sound effects for extra emphasis. Damn, he's ripped. He's cut. I bet he could lift me up and just walk me around the room. Because, the stuff that he said, like, look at those, this is, you can see her. See, you have to up the ante. So he's talking about her physical. You're going to talk about the dude's physical thing too, but you're going to turn it into his sexual prowess and what you would imagine could happen. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to hurt his damn feelings. I was like, well, look at his muscles. Ooh, his back, his chest. Ooh, that's so sexy. I bet he looks like amazing in a wife beater. Oof, good Lord. All that kind of stuff. I would just say all the foul, funky, just rude shit I could think of to make him feel small and insignificant. That's what I would do. And to find, dudes with them, like, them tight pants that have, like, the imprint. I'd be like, ooh, look at that package. That is some, ooh, goddamn. That kind of stuff. Then get insecure about money and sex. So either one. If you talk about a dude and you think the dude, because based on the way the dude looks, can put it down, he got his stroke game is on point, that gets them madder than the money part. Because they'll be like, because they can say, well, I'm not broke, which it might be true. You might have a nice job and stuff, and you don't really know how much the other person makes. But what you do know is what they're working with physically. So you see all that other stuff. I mean, if you know the guy, well, yeah, you would have all that detail. But you don't know. We're talking about complete strangers here. He's a stranger on his end. It's complete stranger on her end. We can't talk about income because we don't know what their income is. All we know is he got an imprint in his jeans. His butt is tight and firm and high. His muscles are just on point. His back is strong. His six-pack is working. He got dimples. His skin is clear and he's beautiful. That's what we're going to focus on, where we can see, just like he did. And that's what I would do. Yeah, girl, that gray sweatpants. That page, I can't go on that page. I have to leave that alone. But yeah, that's how I would do home skillet. Because he need a dose of his own medicine. So you being very, talking about, well, I wouldn't do anything like that to him. You need to stop with that mentality. What women must understand is whatever your man does to you, you do it back. That's called matching energy. If he thinks it's good enough for him to do to you, then it should be good enough for him to have it done to him, right? I always tell him, he's like, they want to be the leader. Okay, you going to lead. You going to lead us into glory, or you going to lead us to divorce court? Which one is it going to be? Because whatever the fuck you do, respect to get it done back to you, because that's how I roll. That's what we're going to do. You cheat on me, I'm going to cheat back. You disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you back. And every time you do something, I'm going to up the ante. So if you cheat with one person, I'm going to cheat with two. And have video and show you and talk about it and how wonderful it was and how their stroke game was way better than yours. I'm going to tell you all kind of shit that's going to hurt your feelings. Don't try me like that. I don't have a filter when it comes to that kind of stuff. These dudes just be so you ladies, you just be too soft on these dudes and just let them get away with murder. That please. Yeah. It's interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. Question 16. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Middleton in the Greater Manchester in the UK. Some of issues. Should I respond to his text after his behavior? Behavior. We are both 27 and matched on a dating app. Well, there's your first mistake. And texted literally nonstop. And she put that in caps and bold and underlined and all kind of stuff for 3 days and really, really, really hit it off. Okay. Those ladies of you who allow a man to take up all your time for days like that, you texting them all day, your ass is supposed to be working or going to school studying, doing something to better yourself. You're not supposed to be spending all your goddamn time texting with some fool you met on an app. Once you do that, don't you understand what kind of message you're sending him? That you don't have shit going on in your life and you desperate as hell. That's what you're communicating. You don't have anything going on in your life worth anything other than what some strange man that you ain't even met is doing on your phone, texting you. Get your shit together. This is ridiculous. I keep seeing these kind of posts like, we were just nonstop for days. And they act like that's a benefit. You display yourself to be desperate, stupid, and a loser when you do shit like that. Because like you don't have no time. You're not setting time for yourself, just doing the responsible adult things that you're supposed to be doing. You just make him a priority out the gate. Don't you understand what kind of message that is sending to these dudes? They already know that your ass ain't about shit. And you don't even understand how you playing yourself. You're supposed to be too busy to be texting a motherfucker all goddamn day. Have some shit going on that's about you. This is ridiculous. What are these parents telling their daughters? Nothing. Woo! Okay. We really, really hit off, she says. He asked me for a first date, which we kept saying how we were so excited for. We were so happy talking together. We had great, deep conversations by text. It was so clear how much we crushed on each other, and we were so flirty. He was so sweet to me also and considerate of my feelings until ... He texted me the cutest good morning text. Then he left my response on read all day. Meanwhile, he was on Instagram posting stories and just liking my stories. I texted him at night asking if everything is okay. He said, yes, sorry, I've been busy with family. I said, that's okay. You don't need to be understanding. You ain't his woman. The day after, he did the exact same thing. He texted me a cute good morning text, but never said anything after I responded with a conversational opener. I didn't ask this time if everything is okay. He texted me again the next morning saying he's sorry for responding late. Mind you, he was still active on Snapchat stories. I did not respond at all. I'm actually pretty upset. That's because you stupid. Yesterday was supposed to be our first date day, but we haven't talked nor did he receive a response from me at all. He hasn't posted any stories since. I'm not sure if I'm overthinking or what his behavior means. I want to respond and tell him that I'm looking for proper communication and commitment. Oh, help me, Jesus. And that him being flaky with me doesn't work as we are not kids. But then I remember how shitty I felt when he left me on read and ignored me for 2 days. And I think to myself that he doesn't deserve a text from me anymore. Any advice? What does his behavior mean? His behavior doesn't mean shit, just like this all that texting didn't mean shit either. You really believe that you can establish a relationship with somebody by text. Is that what you think? You really thought that all them texts flying back and forth was meaningful? That y'all was building something was going on good here. Girlfriend, you tripping. You know what men do when they really want to get you to understand what's going on and have like deep, meaningful conversations with you? They pick up the phone and they talk to you. They talk to you or they invite you out and you sit in the car, you sit in the restaurant, you sit in the park, you sit at the cafe, you sit wherever you're going to sit and you or walk and whatever and talk face to face or on the phone. You don't send texts. Texts are very impersonal. The text can be copied and pasted and sent to multiple people. You have a distribution list for a good morning, beautiful text. You can go to 70, 80 women, right? Whatever the limit is for your carrier. You can go to all the people at the same time and everybody's going to get one and nobody's going to know that the other person got one. At least that's how it was with Verizon. I don't know how the other carriers are. You could send them, so it masks who else receives them. It bothers me that you girls are so gullible. That you really think that these guys texting you is something to bank on, to the point where you think you want to call, you want to send him a text to tell him that, that's not showing you commitment. And you ain't met this fool. You ain't talked to him on the phone. You just texted him to death. And you're looking for commitment. You too sweet, Sliver. All this time you've been here, I would have thought you had graduated to the savage level at this point. Yeah, this is bothering me today. I don't know, y'all. I'm just feeling. I'm in my feels. I'm just not liking this. Oh, that's only question 16. I'm losing my mind. Okay, question 17. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Bridgewater, Somerset in the UK. Term issue: should I avoid this situation at all costs, or am I overthinking? 3 years ago, I went to an event and I met someone in a large group setting. We spoke for a total of maybe 10 minutes in the group. This person then asked me for my contact info, which I felt awkward giving, but I did proceed to give it. Why? They asked me out around 3 times. See that they shit. Okay, it was one person, not a group of them. He asked me out 3 times, even after telling me that I like to be friends. Perhaps I wasn't as direct. I then blocked him. I'm changing all her pronouns to what makes sense in real English, not this new trans language everybody trying to get us to talk. 3 years later, they added me on another social media account. See, he, and then decided to message me. From my friend's advice, I messaged back, and now he wants to hang out. I find this behavior creepy, whereas my friends think it's not bad. Even though I am 28, I don't know what I should do. Deb, any insight would be helpful. Okay, so he asked you, you met him 3 years ago. You spoke for 10 minutes. He asked for your contact info. Okay, 3 years ago, 10 minutes, contact info. He asked you out 3 times. Even after you told him that you just want to be friends, he kept asking you over and over again. So then you blocked him. Okay. So now it's 3 years later. He added you on another social media account and decided to message you. And from your friend's advice, you messaged back. So that means you didn't block him, at least on this count. And now he wants to hang out. I find his behavior creepy, where your friends think it's not bad. Then tell your friends to go the fuck out with him. You don't. Okay, now let me explain to you what the mistake that you made. You found the behavior creepy. You blocked him. Please explain to me why you let some friend, alleged friend who's desperate evidently for attention, convince you to message this man back. Don't you know that you just undid those 3 years of having him blocked with that one reply? Now, of course, by doing that, you made it seem like he has a chance, that you forgave him for whatever he felt like he did 3 years ago. And now the door is open for him to come back in and get whatever it was he was looking for you to get from you 3 years ago. I'm going to suggest this, that you go and you block him back again. Okay. And then in the future, you don't pay any attention to any requests that come from him from now till the day you die. And you tell your friends to stop trying to tell you what to do and stop trying to, undo your boundaries. You felt creepy. That's all that matters, that you didn't like it. You felt creeped out. Your alarm bells were ringing. Pay attention to what you do, protect yourself, and you ignore everybody else. Because they're not going to be there in the situation where you trapped in a situation with this fool and he's trying to convince you to do something you don't want to do and being forceful about it. Because that's what he sounds like, that kind. So don't you ever be alone with this man. You going to end up having to stab this fool. Yes. Sliver has a new catchphrase. Blocking is forever. Forever. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, honey, my block list on Facebook is, I don't even know who those people are, because, I've had that account like forever. And it's like over 1,000 people on it. Because I used to be real active over there. Now, I don't even know my password anymore. It's saved in one of my browsers, but if that browser ever crashed and lost the password, I'd just be like, well, I used to have a Facebook account. I don't know more. Question number 18. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Toledo, Ohio. Summary of issue. My husband's friend sent me a seemingly innocent picture, but it's a bit risque and I'm not sure how to react or respond. Deb, I can't send you the pic if you need to see it, but basically it's his new puppy that he got and it's resting on his lap and he is in underwear. Oh, briefs, she says. So briefs are like tighty whities or boxer briefs. They call those briefs too. But either way, it's going to be showing an imprint and hella thigh in the crotch area and the puppy's on his lap. And that's the picture that he chose to send to his buddy's wife. Okay. I don't need to see it. All right, girl, please. I've been around ratchet men for way far too many decades. I already know what bullshit this is. I'm not quite sure how I should react to this. Play it off as innocent or bring it up. No, what you do is you show it to your husband and say, look what your friend sent me. I don't know what to do with this. Can you tell him not to be sending me shit like this? I don't feel like looking at his nuts. This is so inappropriate. That's what you do, and you make sure that your husband handles because it's his friend. Right? You stay out of it. That's man shit. Okay? And that's the test. That's what he's running. He's gonna try. The dude sent that to you to see what you're gonna do. If he has a chance to play, if you're gonna tell your husband about it, or if you're gonna be like, well, yeah, I like that picture. Something. So he can, slide his way into your drawers. That's what that picture was. It was a test. Now you don't like it, but you haven't done anything. You were supposed to immediately take that picture to your husband and be like, your boy is tripping. Look at this shit here. That's what you're supposed to do. So your husband could go to his house and punch him in the nose. But no, see, you over here writing to me. And in the meantime, the thing's been on your phone and you keep looking at it and all this kind of stuff. So see, you're digging a grave for yourself. You didn't handle this right at all. I don't understand you women who don't involve, when it's your boyfriend and his friends, your brother and his friends, your daddy and his friend, your husband and his friend or relative, whatever it is, it's him, it's somebody that's connected to you through him. That whoever that him, your man is, that's who should get that information and deal with it. Then you have once you give it to him to address, if he doesn't address it, understand that you have a bullshit motherfucker who's not about protecting you. And then you deuce out and if you're married, you get you an attorney and you deuce out. If you're a girlfriend, you pack your shit, you get out, whatever. If it's your brother, you distance yourself and you don't talk to him anymore. These kind of things. You have to have boundaries. But that's a test for you too. Okay, I'm going to give you this shit that your ratchet ass friend, buddy, roommate, brother, uncle, daddy said to me, and see what you do with it. If he does nothing, then there's your answer. Okay. And there's a lot of men that won't do anything. You know why? Because they're little bitches. They're little pussies. They're scared. Well, it just, he didn't really mean anything. Let's just let it go, this and that. The second a man tells me that no, I know he ain't about protecting me at all. He's about protecting that bitch ass friend of his, or brother, uncle, cousin, whoever it is. He's protecting that person. He's not worried about me. He's not worried about my safety. He's not worried about what this person's intent is to do this to me, disrespect me like that. He's not thinking about that. He's worried about his relationship with that, and he's placing that as a priority over my safety and peace of mind. And the second that I know that about you, motherfucker, we're done here. It's over. I'm not even going to think about it. We're not going to have no big announcements. There's not going to be no speech made and nothing like that. I'm going to just deuce out. So, yeah, that's all. Okay, let's move on to question 19. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Santa Ana, California. Summary of issue. If you were me, how would you approach this situation I'm having with the guy I'm seeing? About a month ago, I went on a first date with the guy I'm currently talking to. I'm 24 and he's 28. That's a little old for you, but let's see what's going on here. It was an amazing first date and there was an instant connection neither one of us could ignore. Since he just moved to town, his job granted him 2 weeks to become situated. So naturally, we spent almost every day together during those 2 weeks, and they were incredible. He was kind, attentive, and reassuring in everything I had been looking for in a man. I struggled with an anxious attachment style, and he was everything that my little insecure heart needed. He was always willing to hang out, constantly telling me that he liked me, and when we weren't together, he would tell me how much he missed me and couldn't wait to see me. I asked him if I was smothering him and if he'd like to slow this down, but I was met with more reassurance. He even agreed to be exclusive with me because he did not feel that he'd be interested in anyone else. He moved quite quickly, but I was right behind him, super eager to be loved. Here we go. Oh, shit. What did you write? I just saw a whole wall of text. Oh, girl. Wait, let me skim this. Okay, he started work. A shift occurred. I approached him about it. He told me that he wanted to slow things down. We were moving too fast. Okay, this took me by surprise as he was the one who set the pace. He said he doesn't want to spend every day together. He likes his space. He needs time to himself. I offered to end the relationship and give him his freedom, but he rejected that. You don't have to offer. You just do it. I then offered to take back exclusivity, and he also rejected that. Of course, because he wants you to only be focused on him while he gets acquainted with other people. This is extremely confusing to me, and I just ended up agreeing because I was so overwhelmed and hurt. I was away this past weekend at my brother's wedding, and he was sick, so communication was low. He barely reached out. I was the one checking in him to see how he was feeling, and all his responses were super short. Okay, nah. I also want to include that I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because before moving here, he'd gotten out of an extremely toxic relationship with someone who broke him down mentally. Okay, so he's like all busted and disgusted, and what you're supposed to be Humpty Dumpty, he fell off the wall, and you trying to put him back together again? He was not expecting to meet anyone so soon. He didn't want to let me go. Yeah. I'm willing to work with him as he regains his trust and confidence. What are you, a shrink? Nurse Ratchet? It feels like I'm being constantly punished for wanting to talk to him. This sounds like your typical love bombing. I would agree, but I like him so much. I know this works out between us will be something amazing. If I'm still trying to figure out what to do. I'm making myself sick over him. I told him when I got back home we needed to talk, and he said, sure, that sounds good. Part of me wants to run for the hills and get rid of him, get out of there as quickly as possible, but the other part of me wants to wait for him because I know that this will work out, and I think he knows it too. You gonna wait for a man that you've known for 3 weeks. What the fuck are you talking about? Hope this makes sense. And sorry it's so long. Yeah, long as hell, and no, it doesn't make a lick of sense. Okay, let us go through this. You met a man, and he had 2 weeks with you because he didn't have shit else to do for 2 weeks, and he just got down, didn't know nobody but you. And so you spent all this time together just for companionship. I'm assuming you probably slept with him since you so enthralled with him. So he's getting some free nookie. Then he starts work and he realizes, oh shit, the demands on my time and energy. I don't have time for this broad. Not like I used to. So he's trying to back you up so he can focus on the job, which is what he's there to do, work. And then, so you want to be all in your feelings, talking about, I offer to, this, and I offer take back exclusivity and also. When he offered that, when he said that in 2 weeks, you were supposed to tell him, no, it's too soon. It's too soon for all of that. We'll just continue dating, as we see each other and just have a good time together. Well, let's just do that. That's what you're supposed to say. But see, with your ancient attachment style, you just want to glob on to people like a fucking octopus. And they feel like, well, he offered commitment, so I'm going to say yes. No, you don't say yes. As a smart woman, you don't do that. You pace the relationship. You don't let men pace them because they on target to whatever's going to get me the pussy the fastest. That's their goal. I mean, I say men do this shit that's the easiest. So if it's like, yeah, let me, tell her that I'm going to be committed and this and that, one committed relationship coming right up. Because if they know that's the way to your mattress, that's what they're going to give. They're going to say. And you just dumb and fall for it. You known this motherfucker for 2 weeks. Tell me that you can't possibly be this stupid. That you think that he really meant that at your age. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say. Because you're kind of old for this, writing this damn book. 22 to 27 years old. You 24, he's 28. I'm going to say this. You say you identify yourself as having an anxious attachment style. Get your ass to a therapist and figure out why and fix that. Because you can't go through life like this. This is not going to work for you long term. You're going to keep having these situations where you attach yourself. You don't even know who you're attaching yourself to. You just want to be attached to somebody. And then it's not going to work. And you're going to keep getting dashed and broken over and over and over again. I don't know you, but I don't want you. I just can't in good conscience say that I would recommend that anybody treat themselves that way. Get yourself to a therapist. You need to figure out how you can fix your confidence and find some security within yourself so that you can select a man to attach to. You don't just glob onto everybody who comes along just because they pay attention to you. Okay, that's not going to work for you long term. You're going to keep hurting yourself. And then ultimately, you end up with some mental problems and emotional problems that no shrink can fix because you'd be all fucked up. Let's move on to question number 2. God, good damn it. Oh, why isn't this some liquor? Okay, let's move on to question number 20. We got 25 questions. Female 35 to 41 from Greensboro, North Carolina. The male's 35 to 41 as well. Same issue. My boyfriend and I have been arguing about his sense of, quote, humor. How do I put up with it? Well, there's 2 things you can do. See, I'm going to start. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell Candace next time, just put the summary of the issues. Just put summaries. If we just do summaries, I could probably do like 40 letters, huh? Because if we just go, the summaries just tell you the whole story. I'm going to tell her to do that next time. Oh my God. Wait a minute. What is this long-winded? Oh my God. Oh, 2.5 pages up. Okay. Arguing about his sense of humor. Okay. We've been dating over a year. His sense of humor puts me on edge. It's killing me. I feel like I have to leave the relationship over it. But it would also be a really dumb reason I'd have to leave someone. No, it wouldn't. We share a lot of, okay, I don't care about that. Here's the problem. He has the worst sense of humor of anyone I've ever dated. He prides himself on being sarcastic and thinks it's indicative of his intelligence. So he's a narc, huh? But this particular style of sarcasm is essentially waiting for me to say something self-deprecating and then him jumping on it as an opportunity to insult me even more. Okay, so if you know that's the what you call it, the starting point for the nonsense, then why do you keep saying self-deprecating things? Why don't you say something to build yourself up? That's when I get upset if he explains why his joke was funny and tells me I'm overly sensitive or overreacting. I seriously almost broke up with him last week. We had this nice fancy dinner that he generously paid for as we were wrapping up. He was telling me about his visit to the barber earlier that day. I told him the barber did a good job and that maybe he can help me with this mess and sort of shook out my hair. His response was, no, you'll need professional help for that, which in itself doesn't seem that bad, but I asked what he meant. He said it would take a lot of work for my hair to look good. Wow. And I said, well, it has ever looked good? And he said, well, maybe at some point in your lifetime. Okay, so you set yourself up for these. I'm a little on the lighter side right now, color-wise, and he explained that he likes darker hair. Oh. I asked if my hair ever looked good, and he said once. You see what I mean? How she keeps setting herself up for these hits. He took out a picture of me and him. That pic was taken 6 months ago. I spent $200 on the cut, highlight, and tone, and had them go shade darker for winter. My hair had also been straightened, which took over an hour. At the time I got this hairstyle, he said, you were there all day. It doesn't even look like they did anything. So on that day, he didn't like my hair either. Wow. He makes sarcastic comments when I get excited about things. I found a decor item I'd been looking for to add to my house. And when I explained the significance, he said, wow, you're so cool. To which I pointed out how rude he was being. He was finally like, I guess that's cool for you. The thing is, he claims these are jokes, but there's very actual little humor to it. And if I was said to someone else, I still wouldn't laugh. It's made me overly defensive and on edge around other people. I feel like I could marry him as long as he never opens his mouth again, LOL. I'm 41 and too old to be messed with. I've also been very independent. At times would even consider myself a bit of a loner, though I do have a solid number of friends. Oh, yeah, nobody cares. What do I do here? I don't want to start over. If I end things, I'm not even sure I'll look for anyone again, and I don't know I'd miss my boyfriend for the experiences. But I could walk away right now if it meant being able to laugh again without me being the butt of the joke all the time. Would it make sense to end a relationship over this? Oh, I would have done that long ago. Well, you're not going to make fun of me. We're not going to do that. Because the person who should be defending you against people who make these little pot shots at your looks and ego and figure and hair and stuff should be him. He shouldn't be the one doing it. He prides himself on being sarcastic. Well, simply, why don't you just attack him back? Right? So he's like, he went to his barber that day and you told him the barber did a good job. And then when you're supposed to say, well, I just said the barber did a good job, but really it looks like shit. I don't know what to tell, what the kind of chop shop you went to. And you had a nerve to be in public with me looking like that. Whether you meant it or not, that was an opportunity to shoot him shit down and break him off a piece. So he walking around, it's like, you pull some bad out your purse and put this on your head. And you look stupid. It's just embarrassing walking around with you looking like that. If she was dating Ryan Reynolds, like his wife and they love each other to death. It's just so cute to see them together. What's her name? Blake Lively. Even her name is, fun. But yeah, they look like a fun couple. I saw a clip of her. They were at some party or something. She went by and she grabbed his booty. And it was on camera. And then she walked away with this shit-eating grin on her face. I was rolling. He didn't even move. I guess he knew it was her. But I'm like, this is so cute. They're so cute together. But you 41 years old. You too old for this shit. So I'm gonna tell you this: either you get away from him so you don't have to be bothered with it, or you start firing back. You should not be taking this. When he says something about you, say, when I want your opinion, motherfucker, I'll ask you for it. I don't care what you think. And let me, by the way, your jokes are not funny. Keep your day job. Because you ain't hitting on nothing. Let's see, you such a fucking comedian. Get your ass up there on the what they call that comedy show, the stand-up comedy, and let's see how many laughs you get. Fucking joker. Think you so fucking funny all the time. Nobody laughing at your dry ass, stupid ass comments. Stuff like that. Everybody lies to everybody. Don't even try to put a gender to it. Women lie, men lie, kids lie, dogs lie, everybody lies. It's just what you do. Just get over it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it. Don't put energy on it. Just anticipate that you're going to get lied to at some point and probably many points in your life. Get lied to by politicians every day. I don't see y'all complaining about that shit. Parents lied to us. It started with telling us about the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. They lie about, we'll take you to Disneyland. Hey, and I'll be home and say, I'll take you here. I'll do that. Parents lie all the time. Everybody lies. Okay, just get over it. If you're going to get stuck in your life because somebody lied to you, you just may as well just go curl up in a ball somewhere in a cave and just stay there. Because you can't worry about that. Okay, let's move on to question number 21. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Tampa, Florida. Summary of issue. Another woman seems to dislike me for being thin. Is there anything I can do here? Yes, but let's see what you're doing. This sounds incredibly trivial. I'm aware, so please don't ream me too much. No, I like reaming. That's what I do on this channel. This has been increasing over the years, but the comments have really got me to a breaking point. Me and this girl share a mutual friend, and each time I see her, there are comments on my appearance. Last time I saw her, she said to a group of people that boys like, quote, my name because she's so thin, which made me feel objectified and that my personality doesn't matter. When you're stupid, you're supposed to say, yes, that's true. And they don't like you because you look like a Oompa Loompa. Or Poppin' Fresh. Or something, I don't know, what's the new, I don't know, Poppin' Fresh, that's so 90s, but that's all I could think of, sorry. But, it has to be something like that. So when she starts that shit, you shoot her ass down. You don't just sit there and take it and feel bad about it. Stuff she's trying to make you feel bad. You're not supposed to feel bad. You're supposed to make her feel bad. I don't understand you ladies. It's like you don't have no kind of spine at all. You just let people just treat you any kind of way. Okay, so then she grabbed my close friend and started telling her they truly, quote, get, end quote, each other. And girls with my weight will never, quote, understand. So why somebody need to understand blubber? That's what they have gyms for. Chop, chop, get to it. There have been multiple occasions where she's implied that I, quote, never truly struggle because of how I look. She's aware I have previously had a severe eating disorder and a nasty childhood, which I won't disclose here. Yeah, it was irrelevant to what I'm doing. Is there anything I can truly do? Do I discuss this with her or just leave it alone? The situation has made me feel like I'm 14 in middle school again. I don't really know how to tackle. I just told you how. Be a bitch. You don't let somebody talk to you like that. When she started talking about you being thin, you started talking about her being fat. Say, well, you could be thin too if you stop eating all them donuts and all that, them quiches and shit that you eat all the time. So, I mean, the fact that you're not thin, that's your fault. You want to look like a bouncing ball, that's on you. Things like that. I mean, as nasty as you want to make it, or as funny and cute as you want to make it, but the bottom line is you hit her back. Okay, she's talking about your weight and your looks. You talk about the same thing to her. You don't start talking about her health, and I mean, you keep the playing field level. She's talking about your weight. You talk about hers. She's talking about why boys like you. Talk about why boys don't like her. You see what I'm going with this? That's how you do. You keep it even. It's shot for shot. And she sees that you're not going to be the one taking her bullshit. She'll stop because she won't be able to handle it because people will laugh at her. I just, usually I don't like to talk about, people's weight and stuff because I know people struggle with that. And, sometimes you can't help it because you have different, health issues, thyroid problems, people have lupus, I mean, there's different health things going on with people, diabetes will blow you up, stuff like that. But so I don't really like to do that. But in a situation like this, where someone is made it a habit, now this is not a one-off, this is a habit, this is repeatedly, she said it's happened over many years. Well, now it's time to, which she should have done years ago, is roll up her sleeves and get gully with this chick. That's not, that's not appropriate. Okay, question 22. This is a young male in the 22 to 27 age group from Los Angeles. Suburb issue. I got a woman I barely know pregnant. Deb, I fucked up, and here's the story. Oh, you idiot. I'm a Black American. I was traveling in Europe last month during a school break, and I met a Filipino girl. We slept together. I wore a C, but it broke, and I didn't notice at first because I was drunk. It probably didn't break. She probably broke it. I usually, extract myself if I have a C on, so I realized it was broken after I did that. I said she should take a plan B, but she said it would be fine. In worst case scenario, she would get an termination. Apparently, this was still enough to get her breaks, because now, fast forward a month and a half, she just confirmed that she is pregnant and she's considering keeping it. I am so freaking out. She is saying that she doesn't expect me to be involved at all and I can just disappear, but I'm still freaking out. What if she changes her mind? What if she comes after me for child support? I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. Any advice is appreciated. You're going to get your ass on the plane and you're going to go back there when that kid is born and you're going to make her ass get a DNA test. That's what you're going to do. And then, because it's not going to be your kid, I already know. It's not going to be your kid. And then she going to have to shut up. And then you're going to get your happy ass back on the plane and you're going to go home. So all this, there's no need to freak out in advance. Calm your ass down. So you got months to deal with this, to get your ducks in a row and to get a blood test. That's what you're going to do. You just gonna there's, I mean, if this had happened 40, 50 years ago, you would be pretty stuck, but the technology that we have available these days, there's no reason for you to be fretting about if this is your child or not. It can be easily discovered if it is or not, just within a week, probably a couple of days. I don't know. But let me explain something to you, little fucker. You don't be dipping around with girls you don't know in foreign countries. I don't give a fuck what kind of plastic you put on your Johnson. You idiot. It can't be, it's not like, you can't, you motherfuckers always act like this pussy is just you never had none before. You just can't, it's just brand new. It's just like uncharted territory. You just have to experience it. You have to learn to control your urges, sir, and live your life in a mature and decisive fashion. This kind of shit. Now, if it turns out that it is your kid, you have fucked up your life for 18 years. Your money is fucked up for 18 years. And don't think that you're going to get away with not. She said, like, you can just disappear. She knows how to get in touch with you. That's just game. That's why you have to make sure that if this kid is yours or not, before you sign anything and before you admit anything and before you pay anything. Do you hear me? If you don't listen to nothing else I say, you better listen to that. You ain't admitting shit until you do a DNA test. But then if it's yours, then your stupid ass is on the hook. You fucked your life up for 18 years, possibly more. Because for a 10-minute nut, that's what you would have done. You stupid fool. Good Lord. Well, she met her in Europe, but that doesn't mean that's where she lives. I mean, she could have been vacationing in Europe just like he was for school break. Or, I mean, she could, I mean, people live all over the world now of every ethnicity. So, I mean, her family could have relocated to the UK. I don't know. He didn't say all that. But, if she's in the UK, then he can go there and demand a blood test, right? If she's in the Philippines, I don't know what they do about that kind of stuff. I don't know. But the UK's laws are pretty, in line with ours. I don't know about the Philippines, like I said. But dude, you just stupid dummy. For 10 minutes of fun, fucked up your life for 18 goddamn years. Idiot. I don't understand how these men be thinking. Because I tell you, if I was a dude, you wouldn't. Don't even stand too close to me. Because I'm not sharing nothing with your ass. You ain't getting my money. You ain't moving in with me. You ain't getting my name. You ain't getting shit from me. Get away from me. I don't know your ass. Unless I had like 2 vasectomies. Then I might think about it. Question number 22. Oh, wait. That's the one I just did. I'm sorry. I didn't change my paper. I was so mad at him. Question 23, female 22 to 27 from Raleigh, North Carolina. Summary of issue. This date was much larger than his pics. Oh, you got catfished, huh? So I'm 25 and I matched with a 31-year-old dude on one of those swipey things about a month ago. We've been chatting for a while and we finally able to make plans to see each other a few days back. He was very attractive and fit based on the photos on his profile. The only thing was I could sort of tell some of the photos were a few years old. I asked him about it, and he told me that the photo that I actually thought would look the best in was taken recently, which made me feel a lot better. He said he doesn't take a lot of photos of himself, which was the reason for some of the older pics. I didn't question any further, as I know it's typical for guys to not really take a lot of pictures. So anyway, I don't take them either. So anyway, fast forward to our date. I met him at a bar and almost didn't recognize him when I walked in. He was at least 50 pounds heavier in person and also shorter than he said he was on his profile. Oh, yeah, Oompa Loompa. I was taken aback by this, but didn't say anything, as I thought it would be rude. So I would have been like, you short, fat, brown motherfucker, what is this? I ended up having a good time with him, though, and I don't find him unattractive that way, especially, despite being a much larger in person. The only thing is I'm a little weirded out that he would lie about something as basic as what he looks like. Should I have called him out on it? Of course. Feeling conflicted because I do like him, but I really dislike how dishonest he was about his appearance. My thing is this. They're going to lie about something that you could see. They can see it when you can see it when you walk in. Remind me of that dude. Remember I told you about that dude he said he shopped at the boys' apartment. He was so little miniature man. And he walked in there talking about, I'm like, no. I look like I could shot put your ass. That's why I was working as a trainer. And I had like buff. I'd take that man and go, whoop, shot put him down the field. That wouldn't happen. I need somebody, that Mandingo thing going on. But this is hilarious to me. Okay, well, would I want to continue going with someone who, told me? It's not like you're going to not find out as soon as you see them. So I'm really not understanding what the point of all of that is. I guess they feel like, once they get past the initial shock and, they can turn their charm on, they're just looking for an opportunity. So, I guess that would have to be on you. If you enjoyed him this company that much and you want to continue seeing him, even though he's short and fat, then, do that. That's you. I don't have a, what they call it? I don't have nothing in this fight. I don't really care. But, if it works for you, then it works for you. But you definitely should have pointed out to him, you lied. I want you to know that's one strike. You only get 3 and then you out. So you already used up 1. And I would tell him that. So he's on notice. Don't do no other shit, because dude, we'll do strike 2 and 3 in rapid succession, and then you'll be out of here. Okay, let's move on to question 24, our next to last question. The last one looks a little long, but we'll work with it. Question 24, this is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Newark, New Jersey. Kind of issue. My partner's brother is awful. I'm in a serious relationship of 3 years with a guy who I am very much in love with. He's everything I've ever wanted in a partner. I met his dad and his sister, who are both lovely, but however hard I try, I can't bring myself to like his brother. My partner is very close to his brother, and they spend a lot of time together. His brother has never really been rude to me, but he constantly makes bigoted remarks in my presence, the kind of remarks I'd be surprised to hear someone's grandparents make, let alone a guy in his 20s. My partner doesn't like these remarks either, and he's nothing like his brother, but he believes these comments are intended as jokes and has never said anything to his brother about it. Does it matter that I don't like my partner's brother? I think it really hurt my partner if I was upfront about this. Up until now, I've dealt with this issue by trying to limit the amount of time I spend with his brother. But is this a sustainable long term? Not if it goes. See, this is where it comes, and this is the thing I think a lot of parents don't discuss with their children. You can like somebody, you can like somebody, you can love somebody, okay. But when you are looking at forming a family and aligning yourself with this person long term, what you must have is compatibility in two key areas. Well, I mean, not, physical, of course, you plan to be married to them and all that stuff, and you're an adult and you want to have that kind of activity going on in your relationship. We'll put that aside. But these are two things that people don't really think about. Number one is similar morals, and number two is similar values. In this one, you don't really say what your boyfriend's morals and values are because he says he doesn't like the remarks, but I'm going to tell you something. When someone tolerates that kind of things from someone that they're close to and they don't check them on it, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to us like that when we're around you. You keep that shit with your friends. They don't put boundaries in place. That is basically saying that you condone that behavior because you're not shutting it down, right? So you're accepting it. That's what that means. Your silence is acceptance. So your boyfriend is more aligned with his brother, even though his brother's foul and stupid, than he is with the fact that you find that so extremely offensive. So if he was going to say anything, it should be to his brother, look, my girl hates that kind of shit. Don't be talking like that around her. You save that for some other time. Whatever. He's the one who's supposed to put some boundaries in place because that's, again, like I said earlier in the show, that's his family. That's his, his relative. He's the one who's supposed to handle it. That's his responsibility. But since he didn't, I would be the kind, because I very forthright like that. I would say, why do you talk like that? You know how stupid you sound for this to be 2024, and you talking like a redneck cracker? That's what you sound like. Like you should have a white sheet and be riding around on horses in the middle of the night, and you're 20 whatever. You sound like a fool. You disgust me. That's what he would get from me. And people, people like, well, you just be too open and too honest. You just be telling people about themselves and stuff. I'm like, well, what you want from me? I would rather hurt your feelings than you hurt mine. That's the way it's going to be. So, and it's just the fact that he does it over and over and over again, and he knows that you don't like it, but he constantly does it around you. So that means he's doing it with intent. And your partner, again, is not shutting it down. So would I want to marry into a family like that where people tolerate that kind of conversation? Because you don't see, to me, it would mean to me, since my boyfriend didn't shut it down and tolerate it, that when I'm not there, he talks like that too. That's how that would translate to me, whether it's true or not. That's what I would think because of his acceptance of it and the brother's freedom feelings. He just feels just too free to talk like that around his brother. That's where my mind would go. So would I want to marry? Would I want to continue a relationship with a guy like that might lead to marriage and having children that would be exposed to that kind of bullshit in 2025, 6, 7, 8, 9? No, absolutely not. I don't want my children's minds being filled with toxic nonsense like that. This is a big world we live in. In every state in the United States, there's people from every other country here, speaking other languages and eating other foods. If we, as this melting pot of America, because the only people that's supposed to be here are the Native Americans, everybody else is a fucking transplant, immigrant. Okay, everybody else is an immigrant. So it's like this is a melting pot country. If we don't have tolerance for each other's differences and appreciation for each other's cultures, languages, and food, then what the fuck? Take your ass back to where you came from then if you ain't appreciative of the differences and respectful of them. And that is the problem that I'm seeing with your relationship with your brother, with your man, is I'm thinking that he's just like his brother. I would not want my child exposed to that. Children have enough to think about with all these weirdos online and stuff and chase them down after school and whatnot. One thing they don't need to do is have their head filled with hate. for any reason about anything. Nothing. They need to learn their numbers and spelling and stuff like that. Geography. They have other things, spelling, writing, reading. They don't need to learn hate. So the value system that I have for my child would not include that kind of influence. But that's a decision that you have to make. I can't do that for you. Question number 25. This is our last question of today, but we'll be back on Tuesday. I gotta do what the fuck Tuesday next week because I'm wrapped up, tied up next week for the rest of the week. So here we go with young lady 35 to 41 from Stockton, California. Had a lot from California today. Interesting. Summary of issue: how to date when you're 40 plus, Black, female, autistic, non-religious, and fat. Wow. I don't know the answer to that. Let's see what's going on here. I'm 41, a Black, autistic, atheist, and fat. I've been trying to date for a while on some apps. I've tried Match, Bumble, and Hinge mostly, and some niche ones that I'd rather not mention. I do prefer a certain dynamic for my nook relationships, but I just like to go on a nice date once in a while and see where things go. But I have to worry about the nook stuff up front. My main problem or question is I get a lot of what I consider racist comments from men saying things like, I don't find Black women attractive, but we can be FWBs. Wow. They say that to you? And I have no problem finding an FWB. I've been considering speed dating, but that really kind of seems daunting to my autism. I dress nicely, I bathe, I have a really good job, I'm funny, and once warmed up to someone, I can be very conversational. I also work out quite consistently. I can deadlift 185 pounds and bench press about 135 pounds, depending on the day. I go hiking fairly regularly. I do watercolor. I play the violin. I'm into MTG, D&D, okay, Dungeons and Dragons, MTG, I don't know what that is, and niche board games. I enjoy Star Trek and other nerdy things, but I also like mainstream stuff too. Okay, when you start talking about them video games and stuff, girl, you took a left turn, especially at 40. I don't typically tell people I'm autistic unless it comes up, though it rarely comes up because of the whole lack of potential dating partners. And I've seen people twice my weight that I know personally find love and get married and all those things. I don't even want to get married. I just want a long-term relationship with someone. Any advice or opinions will be appreciated. However, please don't comment too much about my weight. I've lost 30 pounds in the last 2 months, and I don't think anything more than that is even remotely healthy. She's right. Ooh, 50. Well, I guess the bigger you are, the faster you lose weight. So 30 pounds in 2 months is probably not that bad. And I don't think, considering I've seen many men or women that are larger than I find relationship, it should be really a huge issue. No, you know what I'm worried more about? The autistic part. Because sometimes, the people who I've met who say that they're on the spectrum, there are certain social cues that they don't get, things that they miss. And so they end up being in very awkward or uncomfortable positions with people who, aren't really interested in them, who are out to use them in some way, who are making fun of them, bullying them, and it kind of goes shoop. You guys don't get the finer nuances. So, not like that's going to impede you or anything, but I'm just saying, out of all the things you listed, that's the one that I would be the most concerned about, because I know that could get you in a situation where you won't understand what's happening. Yeah, she says she doesn't really tell people. So, yeah, the religious part, I don't know, but she's a Black woman, so that's hard, because it's one of the first things folks want to ask you as when you Black. You have a church home? No, I don't have no fucking church home. I've resorted to saying that. Don't be asking me that stupid shit. Let me sit my ass parked up in the church and give tithe of my money. I'm not doing that. And then people get all like, oh, and stuff. I'm like, I got to ask that twice in Tahoe. Where do you go to church? I live in the Bay Area too. Where do you go to church? I'm not setting foot in no goddamn church. You tripping. And they just get all, offended like. But as far as you talking about where do you go, I can't answer that question for you because where are you again? Oh, you in Stockton. I don't know what the hell is up in Stockton. Every time I'm up there, it just look dusty to me at this point. I know they build a lot of new homes and stuff up there, but I don't really see it as like a social place. It looks like just where people live, and then they commute other places to go to work and have fun, like go to Sacramento or something right down the road. Go to Sac to have a good time. I haven't heard about Stockton having like a real social scene, so I really hesitate to tell you anything. If I were a young person, 40 years old and trying to find somebody, I wouldn't live in Stockton. I would not live in Stockton. I'd go somewhere where they had like, events, social events, parties, singles events, uh, some, hot not happening nightclubs, stuff like that. That's what I would do. I would not be sitting in any place in Stockton. So you might want to think about that. At least if you go like away for the weekend or something, get you a Motel 6 room or something and go investigate. You and a girlfriend go somewhere, go to I don't know. Oakland's not really that safe these days. They tripping in Oakland, but go to Sacramento and see what's happening up there. Shay might have some ideas. She live up that way, and then see what's happening up there for single women, single Black women, and then figure that out. Because you missed the summer. There was a lot of events, different events going on. There are food festivals, music festivals, and stuff like that. But things are starting to dry up now that summer's almost over. But it's probably still not too late. Look around and see what you can find out. Yeah, I would. That's what I did. But it used to be all over. But what you find out when you start traveling is dust is international. Dustiness is not limited to one place, it's not limited to one age, nor is it limited to one ethnicity. Men are dusty asses everywhere you go, just dusty. So the part that you have to work on as a woman is screening out the dust and having good boundaries so that you don't let dust impede in your existence and you can still have a good time. Because you can still interact with dusties. You just don't fall in love with them. You don't get married to them. You don't have kids with them. But you want to dance with them, go out with them, go to dinner, giggle, go to a show, whatever. Yeah, but you have to keep them on the periphery of your life. You don't invest in them emotionally. And I think that's what the mistake that so many women make. They don't, deal with it. Yeah. So Giggle say the fat part from the previous letter writer is fixable. You can work on that. She's already working. She said she lost 30 pounds already. But I think about that. Women be focusing on what they look like, and you think about the beautiful young Halle Berry. Shit, even her ass had trouble, with men. She had some very successful, good-looking dudes, but she still got left and mistreated and disrespected and stuff. So that, and like I said, dustiness, it is what it is. We just have to screen it out. Dust is international. So I tell you, dust is international. So anyway, we've been here for 2 hours. That's long enough. Yeah, that's true. I'm the prize just reminded me because I don't know if they use this term anymore. This is so 90s because, I'm old. But they used to, they had these men who like big women. They used to call them chubby chasers. It's not a very flattering term, but that was what other men, what men called other men that like bigger women. They called them chubby chasers. And so, it's somebody for everybody. You just haven't met the dude for you yet. I haven't met anybody I want to be aligned with like on that level either. But, it's still fun going out and talking shit to them and looking at them and then telling them about themselves. I still have a good time with that. But yeah. So we'll be back on Tuesday. At some point, I will dig around in my emails and pull out the names for the winners of the shampoo bars. I still haven't done that either because I was laying in my bed like crying because my stomach hurts, my guts was hurting so bad. I still don't need goddamn antibiotics, but hopefully I'll feel better in a day or two. But yeah, I plan to be back and do the advice show on Tuesday. And I have not been able to do the DNN show because I just was out of town and then I was not feeling good. So there you go. But I'll just extend it. And, it's supposed to end around Labor Day. We'll just go into October or something. So I'll give you guys all the shows. Don't worry about that. It's just going to be spaced out a bit because it's just life happens. Can't do everything the way that I planned to. So, I had to make space to handle some stuff. But there you go. But anyway, thanks everybody for showing up. And I'll see you on Tuesday.